Daniel in the lion's den, between faith, envy, and the justice of God. Hello dear friend, and welcome to our channel. It is truly a blessing and a joy to have you here, joining us for another powerful, biblical story that is not only filled with ancient wisdom, but also overflowing with spiritual lessons and deep reflections that remain relevant for our lives today. In this episode, we are going to dive into one of the most famous and yet one of the most astonishing narratives of the scriptures, the story of Daniel in the lion's den. You have probably heard about this story before, maybe in Sunday school, in a sermon, or even through popular culture. But the truth is that many people do not know all the details, the nuances, and the hidden revelations that are contained in this extraordinary narrative. So, prepare your heart and mind, because we are about to walk together through Daniel's journey. From his early years as a young exile taken from Jerusalem, to the moment he became the target of envy and persecution, until the climactic event when he was cast into the lion's den. And above all, we will see how his unwavering faithfulness to God was the key that opened the door to his victory and to God's glory being revealed to an entire empire. The beginning of Daniel's story. Daniel's life was marked by challenges from the very beginning. When he was just a boy, around 10 years old, Jerusalem was conquered by the mighty Babylonian king, Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar had a particular strategy. Whenever he subdued a nation, he would order the most promising youths to be taken into his court. These young men had to be strong, healthy, intelligent, capable of leadership, and above all, quick to learn the culture and the language of the Babylonians. The goal was clear: to reshape their identity and transform them into loyal servants, counselors, and officials of the empire. From Jerusalem, 4 remarkable young men were chosen: Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Imagine the pain they must have felt, leaving behind their families, their city, their traditions, and entering a completely foreign world filled with idolatry, luxuries, and temptations. And yet, what truly distinguished them was not their appearance or talents, but their determination to remain faithful to the God of Israel, even in the midst of a pagan empire. Daniel's first test of faith. One of the first tests Daniel faced came in a seemingly small area. Food. The royal meals were abundant, but they often included meat sacrificed to idols, or food that was forbidden by God's law. Many young captives would have easily given in, considering it a privilege to eat from the king's table. But Daniel and his friends chose differently. They requested a simple diet of vegetables, fruits, and grains. At first, it may have seemed like a minor decision, but it revealed the greatness of Daniel's character. He was willing to give up luxury in order to remain pure before God. The result was astonishing. After a period of testing, Daniel and his companions appeared healthier and stronger than all the other young men who had eaten the royal food. This teaches us something crucial. Faithfulness in small matters paves the way for greater missions. The gift of interpreting dreams. As time passed, Daniel grew in wisdom, and God's favor was upon him. One day, King Nebuchadnezzar had a disturbing dream. But upon waking, he could not even recall the details of the dream. He demanded that his wise men not only interpret it, but also reveal what the dream had been. No one could do it. But Daniel prayed, and God revealed both the content and the meaning of the dream. This moment not only saved Daniel and the wise men from execution, but also brought him to a place of great honor. He was given the Babylonian name Belteshazzar, and elevated to high office in the empire. Just like Joseph in Egypt, Daniel was raised up by God, not because of human ambition, but because God had a plan for his life and placed him in the right position at the right time. Daniel, under King Darius. Years went by, kingdoms changed hands, but Daniel remained faithful and continued to stand out for his integrity and wisdom. When Darius became king, he quickly recognized Daniel's unique character. Unlike the corrupt officials around him, Daniel was upright, trustworthy, and devoted to God. Darius even considered placing Daniel as the highest administrator over the entire kingdom, second only to the king himself. But this decision sparked jealousy and hatred among the other officials. They could not accept that a foreigner, and worse in their eyes, a servant of the God of Israel, would be exalted above them. The conspiracy against Daniel. The envious ministers plotted against Daniel. They investigated his life, searched his habits, hoping to find flaws, but Daniel was blameless. His integrity left no room for accusation. So, they decided to attack the one area they knew was unshakable: his faith. They manipulated King Darius into signing a decree that, for 30 days, no one could pray to any god or man except the king. It was a clever trap, because they knew Daniel's devotion was unbreakable. And indeed, Daniel did not hesitate. He went to his home, opened the windows toward Jerusalem, and prayed as he always did, 3 times a day. This practice was rooted in the tradition of the patriarchs. Abraham prayed in the morning, Isaac in the afternoon, and Jacob at night. Daniel carried this heritage, keeping the flame of faith alive even in a foreign land. Of course, the conspirators caught him in the act and hurried to accuse him before the king. Daniel in the lion's den. King Darius was devastated. He respected Daniel and did not want to punish him, but the law was irrevocable. With a heavy heart, he gave the order for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. Before the stone was placed over the entrance, Darius spoke words of hope. "May your God, whom you serve continually, deliver you." That night, the king could not sleep. He fasted, refused entertainment, and spent the hours in anguish, waiting for dawn. The miracle. At daybreak, the king hurried to the den and called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" To his amazement, Daniel's voice echoed back, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him. And also before you, O king, I have done no wrong." What an extraordinary scene. Daniel was lifted out of the den without the slightest wound. His trust in God had silenced the jaws of death itself. Justice served. King Darius rejoiced greatly. He ordered Daniel to be released and commanded that the conspirators and their families be thrown into the den. The lions, which had been miraculously restrained all night, tore them apart instantly. Thus, it became evident to the entire empire that Daniel's God was not like the gods of Babylon. He was the living God, who protects his faithful ones. The king's decree. Darius then proclaimed to all nations of his kingdom, "Everyone must fear and reverence the God of Daniel, for he is the living God and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." This testimony spread across the empire, declaring that no human decree could compare to the power of the Most High God. Lessons for us today. The story of Daniel teaches us timeless truths. Faithfulness to God may place us in trials, but it always brings eternal reward. Envy and corruption may plot against us, but they cannot overcome God's protection. The Lord is still able to shut the mouths of the lions in our lives. Whether those lions are fears, injustices, problems, or enemies. Just like Daniel, we are called to trust God with all our hearts, even when the circumstances seem impossible. And now I ask you, what did this story speak to your heart? Which part touched you most deeply? And how can you apply Daniel's example of faith and courage in your own life today? If this message has blessed you, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. May the Lord richly bless your life, give you strength in your trials, and fill you with courage to remain faithful, just as Daniel did. See you in the next video.